Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we are going to focus on the Brookings Institute list of innovative practices on global education. What does that mean? Pretty much in Washington, D.C., there's a nonprofit organization called the Brookings Institute, and they are on a mission. And their mission is to pretty much to look at all the different innovations from all around the world that have impacted education. So globally, they've compiled 3,000 different innovations over 166 different countries. Now, Rebecca Winthrop is the lead senior fellow at the Brookings Institute. She's also the author for Leapfrogging Inequality. So what we are going to do today is we're going to focus on how these innovations in specific to special education have made a difference around the world. More specifically, we're going to focus on family and community. How has family and community played a role not only in the success of the innovations, but also on how the innovations have unrolled and how they have come into fruition, taking into consideration family and community. Hope you enjoy. Let's focus in on family. Now, keep in mind that when we talk about family, everyone's family structure is not the same. Some have moms, dads, siblings. Other family structures are compiled of caretakers and caregivers. However, what we will focus on is how these innovations have played in particular close look at family structure, on how the family has played a vital role on the success of these different innovations all around the world. The various innovations listed on this slide share the philosophy of gaining success through family support. Well, what does that mean? That means counseling, education, and resources, not only for the child with different abilities, but also for the pillars surrounding that child that make his or her foundation. Parents are offered classes on nutrition, ongoing support groups, and are obtaining counseling through special services. Families are linked to resources in their community, and they're taught necessary skills to strengthen family foundation. So the shared common vision is the stronger the family foundation is, the more likely the child with different capabilities will thrive in life. We have all heard the term, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, with the innovations mentioned in our project, we're going to see the strength and the power of community and how when the community unites, the ones who benefit are children, especially those with different abilities. One thing I wanted to highlight with this slide is the collaborative overlap seen with all of the different innovations. And what I mean by that is when you look at the success of an innovation, there is community partnerships and networks with funders, with local colleges and universities, policymakers, advocates, and liaisons. So, for example, in Budapest, they had the Early Intervention Center, as well as the Centro Anne Sullivan del Peru. Both of them have a very strategic way of having a partnership with local colleges and universities. Students are able to obtain up to 6 college credits if they continue to collaborate with their particular organization. So that contributes to the success of the innovation. Because when you think of it, 57%, that's a high number, 57% of the areas targeted with these different innovations are marginalized areas. What does that mean? That means areas that are located in remote areas. Sometimes they don't have running water. They don't have access to equal education or quality education. You have high levels of gangs or violence. So when you look at the areas that these innovations are targeting, you have to come in with those resources. You got to come in with those resources so that way you can go ahead and establish that foundation through the community. And the ones who are going to really benefit from that are the people. Because when you look at technology, technology continues to advance at a very rapid pace. So you have technology, and here you have that gap continue to grow and grow, leaving behind these marginalized areas, these remote areas. Now, the big question is, what about our special needs populations? What about our children with special abilities, not only in the US, but also globally around the world? who is advocating for them? And that's where the Brookings Institute, they come into place with these different innovations. So when these innovators are coming in with their ideas, they're going against the current. They're going against what has been the norm, because the norm has not been working. So when you have different people with these innovations coming in, they want to make a difference in the lives of those children who have special needs. And they have to establish that strong community partnership and that strong community network. When comparing the different innovations mentioned in our project to one another, there were some differences that came up. When comparing the different innovations mentioned in our project, the difference is seen in their actual approach. The goal was the same. The goal has been inclusion, 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 access and equality, especially for those children with different capabilities. However, their approach varied. When comparing the different innovations to one another, the differences lied in their approach. Let's look at building foundation. Here we have Kenya, Hungary, India, Uganda, Thailand, Finland, and also various fellowships around the world. Their goal was to build a solid foundation. What that means is the various innovations focused on developing a child's interpersonal skills. They wanted to ensure that the basic needs of survival were met. For example, providing quality medical care or even access to food. Next, let's look at sports and physical activity. Turkey, Kenya, Finland, and Nicaragua had a very shared vision in the sense that through sportsmanship, children can develop their motor skills and strengthen their overall physical and mental wellness. This approach allows children with different capabilities to feel a part of something bigger and a sense of inclusion and self-worth. And last but not least, we have technology. Technology is used to diagnose various issues and also address solutions. For example, in India, you have the issue of hearing, but with technology, they're not only diagnosing the problem, they're also coming up with innovative possibilities. In Mexico, a language app is being developed for students with Down syndrome. And last but not least, we have in Brazil, they use a two-way radio system so that children in the Amazon can attend school. So overall, the goal is inclusion. The goal is to promote access and equality for children with special capabilities, but the overarching goal is so that here we have a population of special needs children. Sometimes they're forgotten and sometimes they're not validated, and that really needs to stop.